years so I didn't talk to him from
Pee-wee.
And actually, John is a man after my own heart this year, because I know over the summer, he went to my favorite city. Spent a couple of days
Yes,
out
well, I
west
went
in
in
Las
October.
Vegas. Oh, October?
October.
Is that close enough for you?
Oh,
So how did you enjoy, you've been to Sin City before, though, haven't you?
4 times, that's my fourth
Fourth
time
time?
there.
And you stayed at the Mirage?
Yes,
And what was I know you went to see the Beatles show.
yes, that was
The
good.
Mirage. Tell us about that.
That was really good. It's called Love, it's at the Mirage. It was a good show.
Now, are they like Beatles impersonators? or
No,
just-
they do, it's like, they start out as kids and then they go through all the, you know, like in the beginning, they do the song Get Back and you see and miss, it's like when during the Blitzkrieg. But instead of missiles, they use the fingers from the Yellow Submarine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Want something?
Very
And
nice.
then they go through the, the other stuff, and it's really good.
Did you see any other shows in Vegas? Or just,
I saw Mysteria,
I got
Treasure
cigarette.
Island.
Oh, okay.
That was good. I saw Terry Fator, who I
Come on, let's
you
go
got
outside.
much better than
Well, I
He's a
remember
comedian,
that.
right? He's a stand-up. That was a
The
ventriloquist.
Jiggles,
Yeah.
that was the one from America's Got Talent.
Terry Faber?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's on stage with one puppet talking, and then all of a sudden, he goes, you hear the other one off stage, and then he says, well, the hardest thing for a ventriloquist to do is throw his voice, but I can do it.
Really?
And it was funny, because he had he was doing another one, and all of a sudden smoke pours out from where he was keeping the puppets, and the one puppet was down there saying, hey man, this dress is really cool. Yeah, he was funny, yeah.
It's a good town, Vegas.
You know, I joke with John a lot, but I do have to say, John has been a great supporter of talking with Tom through the years. And I just want to thank him.
And I know
for
even my time here, all the Tommy Paloojas that you did, I mean, John's always been there. Yeah, so,
even though he's a Patriot fan, and all I'm rooting for is, come on, destroy Tom Brady, please. Somebody
He's a-
beat up Brady.
I'll tell you, he's a Patriot fan, but now we've just become friends on Facebook. But he lets his opinions out about. I mean, he brings his
Yeah.
opinion about, I know Friday's a big day with the
Oh, I can't wait.
changing of the guard, and
Yes.
John doesn't pull any punches on
And
his,
where will I be at
posts.
noon on Friday?
So,
Right here, watching it on TV down here.
now let me ask you, because we kind of talked about this. I mean, it's must-see TV, but I'm worried about violence or fistfights or something like that. Do you think it'll be
Oh, yeah.
somebody's gonna throw? I mean, I'm assuming Trump won't walk down the street for
No.
a while.
No, I don't think so.
Let's see, the thing is, since the election, there's been an ongoing parade of losers who don't get it, because they lost because Trump, because all the people who voted for Trump were tired of the last 8 years of Obama getting his way. I mean, businesses were ready to leave because they were getting taxed out the wazoo, where all these stupid regulations that he put in place, illegally I might add, by going through Congress, saying screw you and signing an executive order. But Trump got Carrier to stay, Ford, but everybody, all they care about is that this guy's illegitimate, yet the last 8 years, we have trillions more in debt, we have 4 dead Americans. Where was Obama when these people were getting attacked in Benghazi? He was nowhere to be found.
John, we need to book you as a guest on a special show to talk about this. It's like what Mr. T was talking about cell phone footage of the young man getting attacked. So, but as I say, we talk about how he supports you, but I admire his passion
Oh,
as
absolutely.
well.
I mean, it's just,
I mean, I hope Friday is peaceful.
And will we see you for our Super Bowl show, Super Bowl Sunday?
well, I bowl on Sundays. I'm not really, by the time I get done and everything, probably just in time to go watch the Super Bowl, so.
And hopefully it's not your Patriots.
Yeah. Well,
I think
it won't
Brady
be your-
bowls on
It won't be
Sundays.
your Dolphins, because they couldn't beat the Steelers.
Like Jimmy said earlier, though, the Steelers are lucky they have a field goal kicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wouldn't score any points.
But John, I want to thank you once again for joining us tonight. And Ed, we're getting to the point now where we started our reign here at American Steam Cheeseburgers.
Yep, as you mentioned, Don G was our last show on television, public access television, and we kind of segued over to this new type of social media called TalkShoe. And I remember the first show, I didn't know, where's the microphone, where's the camera, and at the time the microphones were part of the apparatus, so I didn't know where to talk into. So
And
a learning experience.
at that time, our very first show on TalkShoe was the executive director of the Wallingford Housing Authority, Kelly McDermott.
Kelly McDermott, yes, and talk about, I mentioned how John was passionate about his thoughts and beliefs, as he just demonstrated. Kelly McDermott is very, very passionate. I had a feeling we could have had a telethon. She could talk for hours.
I have to tell you, in the time that she's been at the Wallingford Housing Authority, I've been really, really impressed with the job that she's been doing. And I personally work very closely with her because I don't know if you're aware, but I am currently the vice president of the tenant council.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, congratulations.
So
Another rigged election.
Kelly attends a lot of our meetings and brings us up to date on what's going on, new policies that they're going to bring to the board. She discusses it with the tenant council first. One of the new policies that's going in effect in a short time this year is they're following other housing authorities' leads. They're issuing a no smoking policy.
Ah,
And that does not only include cigarettes. You cannot even light candles in your unit anymore.
really?
Nothing combustible in your unit. And
Is that because obviously a fire hazard?
yeah, and I mean, they're thinking about people's health too, because there are a lot of tenants that utilize oxygen,
Okay.
and things of that nature. So,
Now that means e-cigarettes is.
yep, nothing whatsoever. And if you do smoke, you have to be within 100 feet of the building.
Okay.
You cannot even smoke out on your front porch. So that's coming in a few months down the road. So I've already started. I got rid of all my candles. I have one, and I'm using a candle warmer now,
Okay.
so it melts the wax down. So this way it's not lit. But no, I'm very happy with the direction she's taken the housing authority in.
Yeah, and she was a return guest. We had her last year on
At
when we were
WPAA.
on television. Yeah, and we just saw the as I say, the passion she brings to her job, and it shows. So I'm not surprised when you say she does a good job.
And I mean, where was she before she came? Was it Bridgeport?
Actually, Bridgeport, yeah,
Bridgeport, yeah.
which is a
So I mean, she
a
came,
huge city.
she
compared
went
to
from
Wallingford.
Bridgeport to Wallingford, and that's what we had talked to her about was, the transition from
Yeah.
Bridgeport to.
I think she started. I remember doing the bio on her, and I think she started in East Hartford,
Mm.
and then and then went to Bridgeport, and now back to Wallingford. She lives in Middleton.
Yeah, and she said that back then too that she actually grew up in Wallingford, right, and has family here in Wallingford.
Actually, she did, because I think after the show, McDermott is
Yeah.
kind of a yes, it's a popular name in town, and yes, I did go to high school with one of her uncles.
So,
Small world.
Small world.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to pay it though.
So yeah. So.
and then our next show that we did here at American Steam featured a young lady who's no stranger to talking with Tom. And actually, I owe a bit of gratitude to Mr. Shepard because he's the one that originally introduced me to this young lady, and that was our good friend Arlene Wow.
Yeah, Arlene Wow is it's an apt description, because she's She's a tremendous talent. Yeah, we had her on television a couple of times, and I remember, and I know we're gonna tell the story, at one of our Tommy Palooza events, there was a artist mix-up, or one of the artists couldn't show up.
I believe it was Doug Allen.
So Arlene, who was gonna do like a 45-minute set, I think was on for like 3 hours.
Yeah, she did.
And she was a pro.
She
I
did
mean,
it.
and she didn't complain, and, or at least not, maybe she complained afterwards.
No, she's always been very loyal to
Hear what she
us.
says to you.
Yeah.
From what I hear.
She's
I
been
love
ve-
Arlene, so,
She's
yeah.
been very loyal to us, and I know anytime that I need her,
Yeah.
I pick up the phone and she's like, when and where, I'll be there.
Yeah, she's been a couple of Tommy Paloozas. I know here in Wallingford, Connecticut, where we're broadcasting from now, she's performed at a couple of establishments, including American Steam.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
Thomas
yeah.
had her down here on occasion.
Yep, and I know she has added a violinist
Yep.
to her set.
That's part of her new
Yeah.
CD, if I'm correct, right, Tom?
And I'm pretty sure she has a brand new website, because I just ran across it the other day.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, I'm sure if you Google Arlene, Arlene
I
Wow.
believe that violinist is on her new CD, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, she's on definitely some of the songs.
But yeah, Arlene is awesome. Arlene is wow. So it's
Yes.
exactly named.
And then, of course, this past summer, I had the opportunity to hook up with a grassroots organization here in Wallingford, the Coalition for a Better Wallingford. And we had the founding members on our show, Jennifer Short and Ken Welch. You want to talk a little bit about
Yeah,
the Coalition?
we had done television for what, over 10 years together.
Yeah.
And you know, we've had some very important shows, but I think this show we had for the Coalition for a Better Wallingford was probably one of the most important shows we ever did. And I think it also showed the beauty of this new format that we have Talk Shoe is good, because we were able, you know, we were scheduled for I think an hour. We thought we'd do an hour show and that was it. And I think we talked for nearly 2 hours. What the Coalition does is it fights drug awareness in town and any awareness in town. There is as in any town, there is a problem with drugs and how it affects the young people in the community. And you talk about passion for what you do. Jennifer and is it Ken Welch? You said?
Ken.
Yeah, Ken. They were just awesome. And there's another show that we could have easily done 4 or 5 hours. Still go.
And of course, the reason Jennifer started this organization was her daughter Taylor died of an overdose.
Yeah.
What was that, back in 2012?
I think it was.
2012?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago maybe. But yeah, she's involved, and that was a show. I think we did that show in September or October. I remember seeing her in the holiday stroll that we had here, and she was there at the Coalition. She working hard and just spread the word. So.
And I'm very honored to be, involved with them now and, help promoting them. And I believe it's tonight too, as a matter of fact. They do an open mic night every Tuesday evening. I want to say from 7 to 9. So if you're in the area and you're looking for some entertainment tonight, you can head up to the Coalition for a Better Wallingford at 136 Center Street and hear some great entertainment tonight.
Yeah, they're a good group, and it's good that they're fighting just a horrible problem in town, problem in the area, and they are a good.
And that's what they're trying to do, is promote a healthy environment for our children, and concentrating on the family unit more or less.
And I think you talk about what's been our favorite show or what's been our best show, not only here but even our years on television. I think that probably was, I think for me, was the most powerful show we ever did.
Absolutely. And I told Jen and Ken anytime they want to come back, they're more than welcome. And that kind of leads me in to our next topic was this year's Tommy Palooza. And we did that back in October.
October, actually, I don't know why I remember this. I think it was October 16th because the Dolphins beat the Steelers
Yep.
that day. I don't know why I remember that, but yeah, it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday afternoon. Was it? I still call it Sabat. It was a hard hat cafe.
Hard
they
hat,
call it
hard
now.
hat,
Yeah.
hard hat
I've been to
too.
sabbaticals first.
Hard hat too.
Yeah.
Here in Wallingford, and this year it was for a cause that was very important to me. Not only me, but my co-partners on the event, Tina Taylor and Lisa Catherine. It was for the Alzheimer's Association.
Yes, yes, I do remember that. And kudos, talk about the good work you do, but Lisa Catherine with Concerts for Causes and Tina Taylor with T's Promotional Entertainment. I mean, kudos to them.
And what a great lineup we had.
Yeah.
We had some great entertainment.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And
So,
some of those performers, I knew from performing up at the Coalition,
mhm.
and they came out and donated their time and performed for us, and it was just a great time. And of course, our good friend Aaron Stone
Yes.
donated his time
Yes.
to do sound for us.
Yeah.
And not everybody knows this, but the owner of Hard Hat, Mr. John Akinfora, is a former classmate of mine. I've known.
I did not. That's right. He has North Haven roots.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've known John since grammar school. So I want to thank him and everybody at Hard Hat for allowing us to have it there this past year. I mean, they did a phenomenal job as well. They donated all the food, as well as donated to the raffle.
Yeah, it was a good time. Well, Tommy Palooza is almost become legendary.
And
That's now.
I raised just about $450 for the
Nice.
Alzheimer's Association. And I want to make the announcement here. In case everybody didn't hear it previously on my Facebook page. But I am already concentrating on the next Tommy Palooza. And the benefactor this coming year will be the before-mentioned Coalition for a Better Wallingford.
Nice. Very good.
Now, the challenge that I have,
Great.
because of what the coalition stands for, I obviously don't want to hold it in a bar, with where alcohol is being served or anything like that. So I'm trying to see, I'm going to contact Holy Trinity Church, see if we can have it in their basement.
Oh, okay.
Have it in the basement of Holy Trinity Church. And I'm looking at somewhere around September 17th, we decided on the date. Because I didn't want to get too close to October for the coalition. Because as you know, that's their Red Ribbon Week
Yes.
in October.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have it prior to their Red Ribbon Week. So we're looking at September 17th.
Okay, which would be a Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna check with Holy Trinity and see if we can have it in their basement. If not, I'll check with the First Congregational Church.
What if the Jets are playing the Dolphins that week?
Who cares? Dolphins are gonna beat them anyway.
Well, I want to talk to the good father over at Holy Trinity here and see, throw a couple extra prayers to.
So
Yes, sir.
we're looking forward to that this coming year.
Good.
Anything I can do to help out the coalition.
Yep. Yeah, very good. So.
And when I made the announcement prior on my Facebook feed, I was actually at the coalition that night, and I had said I wanted to do a Facebook Live video, and I had somebody else do it for me, and I just called Ken and Jen over. They had no idea what I was going to do, and I made the announcement with them sitting next to me, and the look on Jen's face, she just reached over and gave me a big hug. She was totally floored. She could not believe that I wanted to do this.
Nice. Well, they're appreciative, and like I said, we saw them at the holiday stroll, and, yeah, they have a lot of passion over there, and a lot of spirit, which is good. So kudos to you, making them the benefactors this year.
Again, you're listening to the Talking with Tom 23rd anniversary special here on TalkShoe.com. If you'd like to give us a call, you can call us at 724-444-7444. Caller ID number is 141480.
So as we're rounding third and headed for home for this our anniversary show, what do we have after Tommy Palooza?
We have the holiday stroll, which we did back in December.
Yep.
And that I was here at American Steamed Cheeseburgers, and we had a performer here that evening by the name of Tim Longden, who works with Concert for Causes, and who was also at our Tommy Palooza.
Yes, I've seen Tim a couple times, so that was, yeah, he's a good performer.
What a phenomenal job he did that night, huh, Tom? He was awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It
And
was amazing here.
and I believe we have video of that too on my YouTube page. Am I correct?
Yeah, I did some video myself when we posted that, so I know that's out there.
But yeah, that was quite a night. I mean, phenomenal performance. And then, of course, in December, we also had our jolly old man from the North Pole.
Yes, Santa.
Bill Clinton?
Excuse me, we got a photo op here.
Watch the camera don't break.
It's on video, just so you know.
Oh, I want a photo.
Why the camera might
Hold
break?
on.
Too bad Santa didn't leave any leftover mistletoe there from.
Go use broccoli, nobody knows the difference.
So Santa came, did his annual visit, and we had who was it? Was Jared? Who was the young man from the Marine
Oh my!
Corps? I'm trying to think. I think the name. I think the name. His name was Jared. But, yeah, we had a representative from the Marine Corps.
Yeah,
Toys for
smile,
Tots.
Tom, you look constipated.
We're just getting a
So,
we're just getting a photo op here.
They're in the show.
they would have loved us at PAA.
Yeah.
You can't even see what a crowd they're
Hey,
So that was our Toys for Tots show.
Yep.
And we collected quite a few toys.
Yeah. A lot of people came in and dropped off a toy for those less fortunate, and of course the young man.
Even my friend Bill Biskey from
Bill-
East Haven TV.
Bill
Yes.
Bixby, the Incredible Hulk?
No, Biskey
Oh, I thought you said Bill Bixby.
from East Haven TV. He dropped off a bike.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. A very, very nice bicycle. Yeah. So when we talked a little bit. So yeah, that was a good show.
Yep, and Santa always takes time out of his busy schedule
Yep.
every December.
Yep. I don't know where you got the connections, but he was able to come and join us. And then Santa was kind of badmouthed the Jets a little bit, but he was.
I like that.
So, yeah. So, I think he badmouthed Maureen a couple times too. But that's okay. That's okay.
And then we had one final show in December, and this show was quite interesting. Quite interesting gentleman that we had on was by the name of John T. Watkins.
John D. Watkins, who wrote the book.
You want to hold it up?
Yeah, let me see.
Hold it up
I don't
to
know
the
if-
camera.
Johnny America presents Charles Chicken
Joke book.
Chicken Joke Yoke Book, and I hope that that reads okay. Yeah, he's the author. He came down, and again, thank you, Tom. So yeah, he came down, and it was fun. And sometimes we used to talk. Sometimes some of the best interviews we do, you don't plan for. I mean, we've done it with Mr. Trivia a couple of times. He's just, we just kind of let things fly off the hook, and it turned out to be an awesome interview.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's the way it was with John.
he had some He was such a great interview that night. I mean, he had a lot of thoughts on some different
Yeah,
topics.
yeah, I mean, we wanted to talk about the book, and we did, but then we got talking, we got Trump, you know, we got talking about this, the state of affairs.
A lot of the stuff going on in the country today, and he was very insightful on a lot of
Yeah.
subjects.
Yeah, that was another show, I think, that could have been a marathon, if we wanted to.
Yeah, I think we'll have to get him back here again. What do you think, Tom?
Absolutely. I think
Good
all
guy.
the guests you guys have had, we can always have return.
That's nice.
You had something good to say or a great mission.
Now,
Yeah.
if somebody wants to get this book, is it available online? Do you know?
Well, you definitely can get it through me. So if anybody was interested, and I've done a lot of posting of it online and stuff like that. So
And Ed, you do have an autographed copy there if you want to read your.
What's in the book?
It says, to Ed, get rid of that jerk you're sitting next to. No.
Nine times.
To Mr. Ed, thank you. You're a truly wonderful, I'm sorry. To Mr. Ed, thank you for a truly wonderful event. God bless, Johnny America. Very nice.
That's
Very
nice.
Yeah, yeah, very, very nice. Very
Yes,
nice.
it
man.
is.
So, and the book is an easy read. I think I knocked it out in about an hour and a half. It's, I think it's
Plus
yeah,
he likes
80,
it.
83 pages.
Plus he likes it because it's got pictures in it.
I think,
Yeah. Yes.
and they're cartoons too, so
Yeah.
right on your level.
Yeah.
I think a little ahead of his time. I think what's going on in the country now is about a little about what he was getting to in that
Yes.
book.
Excuse
I-
me,
And it was before all this 18 months and Trump and all that
Excuse me,
happened. So, yes, sir.
Mr. Trivia, can we get Tom up to the
We
microphone?
certainly can.
This is Tom, whose establishment he's kind enough to
Can I
let
put your
us.
hands?
He's kind enough to
I
let us.
want to officially welcome our host here at American Steam Cheeseburgers, Mr. Tom Schaffer, who is also my adopted brother.
That's right.
Oh,
very
great.
nice.
So that makes him related to Christopher.
We won't get into any of that.
No, I'm his mother's favorite son, in other words.
Oh,
Whatever he wants, he gets.
Yeah.
It's
oh,
unbelievable.
really?
I'm okay with
Got
it.
pudding last night.
But our sister's having a hard
That's
time with it a little bit.
nice. That's sweet.
Nice hot pudding as I walked in the
As he
door
walks
last
in,
night.
it's warm, ready to go. Yep.
So sweet.
Well, I know we also had a show back when we were on television. You were a guest about the art of the steamed cheeseburger.
Yes, we
I
did
thought
that.
was
I'm
very
down at the
successful.
community center because of the
Yes.
winter.
Yep.
I've been on past shows and
Not
we made
jealous?
a compilation
No.
CD back in the day.
Yeah.
Now,
Down.
that's what I wanted to talk about. You and I first met when you were doing your compilation CD back then. At that time, I believe we were still at 127.
We were at PAA's
Oh, okay.
original,
Yeah.
or at least the old
Yes,
location
127 Center Street.
with Mr. Eric Schrader.
Yep, and Eric was the man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we missed the
Legend-
good old
legendary
days. You always
Eric.
say that, but I guess it's true.
And of
so.
course, you used to be up there on Saturday mornings. I think that's when I first met you.
We were annoying the neighbors that lived above.
That's
Stomping on the floor.
That's when I first met you, and then through you is where I met Arlene.
Yeah, see, this is the, see, you don't care about me. He only cares about Arlene.
Yeah.
No, but through the years, when I first started Tommy Palooza, Tom hooked me up with a lot of the musical acts for Tommy Palooza.
Yeah, Ruby,
Yeah.
and Arlene, and I'm sure there were others too. So, and then like I said, like you were saying earlier, Arlene filling in the whole night.
Yeah.
I have a question for Mr. Schaffer. For the people out there that don't know, tell everybody what goes into the art of a steamed cheeseburger.
We've done this show before.
But I
But
wasn't.
for those that for listening to us on Talk Show,
Yeah.
because in
Delicious.
this area, steamed cheeseburgers.
You know, how long you've been in
Yeah.
business, how long you've been involved with the steamed
Quick thing.
cheeseburgers and everything. Real quick.
We're very unique. It's the most unique thing in Connecticut, really. When you come to the state, and I get tons of people as our maps show up on the wall from all over the country and all over the whole world, and that's really kind of neat and surprising when people walk in from Germany or Australia, Ireland. And they're just because they're in the area for whatever reason, they're in Wallingford for work training or visiting or whatever the case may be. The guy from Australia, somebody ordered the CD from me. He was an artist. One of the guys recently that came. I've got a few people from Australia, which you know, that's like as far as you can get away from here. So, if you wanna get away from here.
There is a private school not too far from this
Yeah.
location, Choate Rosemary Hall.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of students?
I get a lot of the families. It's funny because you would think you'd get the students, which I do. I have a picture on Facebook of a bunch of the gentlemen that were here recently. But I get a lot of the families, and it seems like dad leads it. So he somehow finds out about it and wants to try it, and that's where our American cheese works, because we
We're
do
not-
cheddar normally, but we have that American, and you can come in with the families who are very, you know, I don't know about this thing.
Yeah.
The steamed burger, but you got the American, and the younger kids usually are good with that, and that usually helps out a lot with that. So you do get a lot of the families come and fill that table up, and I noticed like dad's into it because he wants to try it, and this is what I see the most. And then some of the kids will be on the fence, but the American cheese works with them, and then everybody can enjoy it. So that's where the connection is with Choate more than anything. It's always weird how we think things are going to be and how things really
Yeah,
end up being.
yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we know one of the groups that likes the American Steam
That's you guys up the street.
are the WWE stars.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true. This is true.
Tom has had,
Oh, is that from the sports store?
Tom has had quite a few WWE stars sample his burgers,
Yeah.
and
Oh, really?
they got nothing but good things to say about him.
And you even have a couple of videos on your page.
Yeah, Mr. USA.
Tony Atlas,
Yeah, I've been up there a few times.
Gangrel.
Again, you know, JTG,
Brutus the Barber.
Brutus the Barber, Beefcake. Of course, all
That's the
that.
one Brutus the Barber is the one I saw.
Yeah, when I leave that day, they're like, "Come next time." Johnny goes to me and he goes, "We're gonna get you a haircut." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You know, you're gonna just come next time. You're gonna get a haircut." I'm like, "Well, what are we coming for?" I don't know. I'll just be here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. So finally, I figure it's Brutus. He's gonna cut my hair.
Maybe it won't be Trump doing a Vince McMahon job, but.
Now, Tom, you've been in business now, what, 4 years?
With this business, 3. I've been doing this since 2007. This is my third venture, so third business, third time doing this. But with this particular one, almost 3 years. May 2nd will be 3 years. So we've had 2 locations. We moved once. We're staying here. We're happy here downtown.
Good.
And,
92 Quinnipiac Street.
I'm happy you're here too, because I couldn't get to your other location.
it works out good, and now my brother can come visit me all the time.
Nice. So it's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation.
Except for him when I don't want to leave, right?
He's moved in a few times, and brings his computer and his clothes, everything. He just moves right in.
Well, especially when he wants to get away from his crazy neighbors, he comes down here.
Yeah, absolutely. But now he's got the girlfriend in the picture, so I don't see him as much now. So I check on him just to make sure he's okay. Because the one time I didn't, he actually needed some help. So when I don't see him, I try to check on him. Make
I know
sure.
he's got good friends.
He definitely
And I
has.
really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And his friends, my friends too.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. It really
Because
is.
what he's doing is something very good for the neighbor, for everybody.
That's right.
For the community.
It's my for the community.
Yeah,
That's
I
the right
agree.
word.
A lot of people have
And I admire him so much.
A lot of people have a lot of complaining to do, but this gentleman right here, who could maybe do some complaining, never. I don't think I ever hear him complain. Never. And he's always happy moving forward and looking forward to the next thing he's going to do, and generally that's usually helping somebody. So you couldn't ask for any more, and that's why he can
Well
be my
said.
brother anytime.
Well said.
Thank you, sir. We want to thank you once again for allowing us to do the show here this evening.
Absolutely. Anytime, you guys are always welcome. I love the fact that you guys come here. Everybody's family, so.
And I got a friend that she said that she was looking around for a steamed hamburger.
Yep.
And she said that she met you and she's so lovely and kindness and everything that she just want to keep continuing.
Awesome, so she'll be
Yeah.
back, and that's what it's all
So
about.
that's
Everybody's family that walks in here.
Yeah.
And that's the way we treat
We are
everybody.
family,
Yeah, absolutely,
really. We
absolutely.
are family.
And not just the sense of,
Hey, do I get the
what I
family
said,
discount?
it's true.
Do I get the family discount?
And today, the way
Oh.
these things, we need these things.
Right?
Absolutely.
Do I get
We
the
need
family
to
discount?
discuss.
Yeah, you get
Well,
all
baby.
the moms cooking, and you already get taken care of.
we
food.
need
Yeah, yeah.
What is it, cookies, what is it, sweet potatoes?
Sweet
potatoes.
And, pudding, and what you name it, he's always got something.
I love the way you
So who's the
laugh.
black sheep of the family?
Huh?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know
Maybe
who
not.
it is.
I don't
but
know.
Right now,
Well, Wendy's the boss, that's for sure.
You're happy.
Can't argue with
Tommy's
Wendy.
the favorite, so,
Can't argue with Wendy.
you don't argue with Wendy. People start with Wendy and we're like, just leave her alone. What do you mean? Just take our advice.
Well,
Tommy knows that too.
our buddy Chris already learned that lesson.
Yes, Chris did learn, and I told him to back off because it's not gonna go well for him. What do you mean he's going? I'm like, stop. So when you brought that up, I wouldn't even dare watch that video, because I couldn't watch what they did. I don't even want to know what they did. But they brought it up. What did they? I mean, obviously they knew who it was. So obviously they took
The
care
person they
of
beat up?
the people who did it. Yeah.
Yeah, they cut his hair and they.
No,
took-
I don't even know that. They took care of the people that did it.
Oh,
They
yeah,
knew
they're
who
in
it was.
jail and, yep.
Yeah, because
There's no bail on them and,
at least there's justice in
Yeah.
that, because
Yeah.
that's just unacceptable. And
yep.
I couldn't even watch that. It's just,
Yeah, it was tough to watch.
I wouldn't have watched it. There's no, I don't need to even see that or anything in my life. I don't.
And you see this thing now coming
But I
up
just want to know someone
with,
took care of it.
with Donald Trump being president and his inauguration and everything. You hear a lot of stuff on Facebook and all kinds of social media about Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, countries. It's like, I tell people, give the guy a chance. Did we know what Obama was going to do when we first elected him? No, we didn't. Give him a chance. He could be just exactly what this country needs. And, maybe it's the best for the country. I mean, I voted for him. Maybe it's, whatever it is.
I put it simple. You can't argue about what he's saying. When he says right off the bat that we need to take care of our vets, because we don't, and we don't, then who can argue with that?
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, and we need to build our infrastructure, go under our bridge and take a look. I mean, that's all you gotta do. I mean, they're unbelievable how they're falling apart. You know what I mean? And what do we make here anymore?
If there's one
There's
thing
no
that
pride
we
in this
need to
country
take care of
anymore.
is our veterans.
Well, he talks about those things in many
Yeah.
other topics,
Yep.
and those are all things that
And
I
you
see
see
a
everything
problem
now,
with
you see
fixed.
everything now that says made in China. What's it say in China? Made around the corner? I mean,
Well, I think
like he
it's a
said,
new
we need to
perspective,
keep
so,
everything
yeah.
in this country.
Yeah. So if he's talking about bringing back, keeping jobs here and bringing back some pride and making, that's what he means by making America great again. And he's right with the media, that they just twist things in a certain way. He's gonna go on the houses and take people's fathers and mothers. I mean, that's ridiculous. He's not saying that. He never said that to begin with. And they're just trying to make him, they're just trying to win something they don't deserve to begin with.
And we should remember this conversation, because a year from now, when we do the anniversary show, let's see how the
Things
year
turn
went.
out.
Yes.
Speaking of Donald Trump, I want to get your opinion, Ed, on this. Have you watched the new Celebrity Apprenticeship?
I actually saw it for the first time yesterday.
I've been watching it since it started, and I gotta say, I'm very impressed with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I guess Trump didn't have too kind words to say about the premiere.
I guess he had joked to somebody that Schwarzenegger didn't get the ratings that Trump did when he was. But what's his catchphrase? It's "You're terminated."
Yeah,
Instead of "You're fired."
he either says you're terminated, or last night he said, "Hasta la vista, baby."
Yeah. And go to the chopper. right?
Yeah,
They
go
don't
to the chopper.
Yeah.
And Tom had mentioned something about Choate. Tom and Edward mentioned something about Choate School. Some years back, I was up by Moses Y Beach on the corner.
Yeah.
And there was this young girl that came up to me and she said, "Excuse me, can you tell me where there's a good breakfast place to get something to eat?" I said, "Well, go down the hill, hang a right, you'll see a restaurant there called Abbott and Costello's." I had no idea who the girl was, very beautiful, had this beautiful accent. 10 years later, I found out it was Donald Trump's daughter.
Ivanka.
I thought that's where you were going with it, because I had heard
She
that.
went to Choate School, and she come walking up to me, and if I had known that, I had no idea who she was. I never saw her.
And no bodyguard, just
No,
another,
she
just
just walking,
another.
where can I get some breakfast?
And
Down
she
there.
was nice. She was.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
She said, "Excuse me, hey, where can I get a nice place to eat breakfast?" And then I looked and I said, "That girl looks familiar." And I said, "She's the one that,
Yeah.
came up from Choate School and asked me where's a good
That's a good
breakfast
story.
place."
Many famous children have gone there, and
Yep.
we know
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's kind of
President
quiet.
President
which is
John
kinda
F.
neat
Kennedy
about
went
it.
there.
Yeah.
yeah, Kennedy was there.
John Madden's son, Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons, he was there.
Peter Jennings. kid.
Peter Jennings' kid, which is a funny story too, because when I was mentioning, you mentioned Peter Jennings, my very first job when I moved to Meriden, I was a cab driver for Yellow Cab. And I had a pickup at Choate School. So I picked the kid up, he puts his suitcase in the car, and we're driving. I said, well, where are you going? He goes, we're going to JFK Airport. Ooh, that's a good run. So we're driving, we're just talking, nothing spectacular. He gets out of the car and he goes, hold on, I have to go in and get my dad. Red flag. He's gonna beat me out of my fare. I'm sitting there filling out all the paperwork, I get a knock on the door, I roll the window down, it was Peter Jennings. It was his son that I took to the airport. Didn't realize who it was, the kid, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, you're Peter Jennings. I said, no, that's not it. And very, very nice guy, very, very good tipper. And it was just something that, you know, a lot of people give these bad ratings to the Choate School kids back in the day, but they're not a bad bunch of kids. From some of the ones that I've dealt with.
Yeah, well, it's an excellent school, and like I say, some famous names, and I remember
Yeah,
that
Ford.
Harrison Ford story years ago was big. His
Yep.
kid was going there, so.
And surprisingly enough, Rue from Ruby, one of the bands I brought here, actually spent a little time there too.
Is that right?
And when we got in touch with each other, she knew she had that connection. I went to Choate. You're in Wallingford, Connecticut, where Choate is.
Yeah.
So we always have that story. I know, I'm not sure if you heard it before when we do talk. Because she did go there. I think she got kicked out. So I don't think it went well, but it was pretty neat when we did connect up that first
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You're in Wallingford? So a lot of famous people have gone there, and it's very interesting. So it's a neat school to have in town.
Yeah.
I do want to mention that a few shows that we do have planned for the future. As I said, our Super Bowl show, Super Bowl Sunday, with Mr. Trivia as my co-host, and his co-host, the Nuxter Greg. Look on our Facebook pages for further announcement, because as I said, it's either going to be at Lenny's Cafe, or it'll be right here at American Steamed Cheeseburgers. We have to make sure that the Wi-Fi is going to be compatible at Lenny's.
Yep. Now, Tom, where can the people find you on social media?
I'm on Facebook.
No, Tom from Steam Cheeseburgers.
Oh,
This is me. AmericanSteam.com. We also are on Groupon.com, Yelp.com, YP. You pretty much name it. Google. I have many photos up there. Some of the wrestlers, some of the videos are up there. Food photos, obviously.
Yep.
So all kinds of stuff. Pretty much you probably type in American Steam, you're going to come up with about 8 or 10 listings. We're strong everywhere. I go up there and post those pictures. And
Yep.
try to make sure everything's working good, the hours and all that stuff. So
Well, before I finally shut up for the evening,
that never happens.
I was going to say, you're going to shut up.
I would just like to say that there's two fine gentlemen that have been
Thank you, sir.
that have been doing the show for 23 years, and hopefully it'll be another 23 more. And Ed McCarver, even though you are a Jets fan,
And so am I.
and even though I've known you through Tom, I've only known you through Tom for a few years. I feel like I've known you 25 years. You're a fine gentleman.
Thank you.
Or anybody gets a chance to run races with this guy, stay away from him because
That's right, because he's going to beat you.
he's going to beat you.
Well, I don't know, I'm gonna be 67 next month, so.
And you're still going strong, so.
I don't know how strong, but I made it up the castle, so,
That was the Bernie Giraldi run?
yes, yes.
Was it a good
And then we were
crowd?
living with Maureen
Like
if the
220
Patriots do it again.
220 runners.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
living with Maureen is age. man.
And what's that cause for?
It's actually, the admission is free. It's just to keep the tradition going. Very briefly, Bernie Giral was a chemistry teacher. And at age 70, he, to prove the benefits of good nutrition long before it became fashionable, he would run up to Castle Craig on his birthday. And he did that every year from 70 to his 80. Well, the press started to cover it, and kids started to run with him. Runners started to run with him. So he retired at 80, moved to Florida. So they said, well, let's keep the tradition alive. So every year on what would be his birthday, usually the third Sunday in January, the tradition run. And just, I say as a postscript, but Bernie Giral died in Florida at the age of 98. So he made it to 98 years old.
And what was he promoting, like health, but what was he doing?
Nutrition. I remember he was a chemistry teacher at Platt High School, but he wanted to show that if you ate right, you'd be good. I remember he hated milk. He said milk was poison.
So maybe dairy?
Yeah, maybe some dairy
I would
products,
say,
yeah,
against
yeah.
dairy, yeah. A lot of people believe in that, so.
But he did it long, long before became fashionable,
Yeah.
so.
And
But
it is-
yeah, nice
it is-
man.
It is more of a
Nice
trend
man.
now.
I had an interview with him once, 50 years ago, when I was working at WMMW, and, yeah, very nice man. Very nice man.
Interesting.
We do want to mention that also in February, you'll be back for that show on our normal
Maybe.
Tuesday.
If he comes back from Vegas.
No, he's
No, I'm going to Florida.
Oh, you're on Florida, oh, then you'll be back.
We'll be doing a
Yeah,
show
Vegas might be
with,
doubtful.
a gentleman who is very up on and interested in UFOs.
Oh, good, okay.
So we will
Okay,
be having
excellent.
a discussion on UFOs and
Sightings in Connecticut.
sightings in
Yeah.
Connecticut and that kind of nature. And
I did see something around my house floating around in the sky. I wasn't sure if it was.
I am
It was
trying.
Maureen on her broom.
Hey, at least she likes the right team.
Yeah.
I am trying to book a young lady who did a phenomenal performance at Holy Trinity for our Christmas concert.
Oh, okay.
And I have her contact information, she has mine, and we're just trying to set up a time in the near future for her to come on. So that's not set in stone yet, but
Okay.
we're working on it.
Okay, excellent.
So,
So we'll hit the ground running in the year
And
2017.
we've talked about this several times, and I know you're in agreement with this. We want to bring Arlene back in here, but we want to kind of turn it into a little concert type thing. We want to get a lot of, our friends down here at the same time. I have a good time with it, as well as you guys maybe do a little interview with her.
Sure.
So,
sure.
yeah, if everybody.
Always for Arlene.
That's
Yeah, we
coming
love
up.
Arlene. so.
Arlene's great. We would love to
Yeah.
do that with her.
Always for Arlene.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Hey, you wanna do me a favor?
what's that?
Wanna run next door and see if we can get our Spanish family to come say hello?
Tata,
I can try real quick, but let me see. Hold on. Give me a minute. I gotta run next door.
Oh, well.
We are trying to see if we can get, our good friends from Tata's to come over and say a few
Efren,
words.
yeah, it was, been a friend of the program.
Very, very
for many years.
supportive
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
talking with Tommy.
yeah, did a couple of Tommy Paloozas and,
Yep, and has always been gracious as to donating to the cause.